The American Dream. Is this a documentary or what? Can you tell us a bit more about this film that you produced?
Yes, it is a documentary, a very unique documentary about Andy Warhol that we worked together over maybe 2 or 3 years since also the COVID era that we produced. And it's about Andy and his life and beginnings in uh, every time when they say Andy Warhol comes, or he said comes from nowhere, this is kind of where we begin. It's in Middle Europe, it's in Eastern Europe, in Miková, in his country, and we follow his beginnings from his mom and what made him and turned him into the artist that he became later on. And this documentary follows a very intimate story of Andy's family, and we were able to get through places and locations that no other film crew got before, like Andy's house in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in America, as well as Andy's later residence at Lexington Avenue in New York. And we've been fortunate to be able to be there and get these authentic interviews as well with family members and childhood friends. And I hope as many people watch the movie to maybe get even a deeper, better understanding of Andy Warhol as a person, as an artist.
And so, how did this whole concept come up? I mean, why Andy Warhol, and how did this start?
Do you want to answer or me?
No, maybe it's better. Petra can answer it. I will only say that Andy Warhol was born in Pittsburgh, in America, but his parents was immigrant, and they was from our country of origin, from Slovakia, and his village from his father was born, and his father was emigrated to the US, is now 17 kilometers far away from the Ukraine border. It's an area which is focusing the whole world now, what there happened. And from this region is Andy Warhol. He was a great man, and he was going from the zero to the top. That's why it's our movie has the name American Dream, because he followed the American Dream.
Amazing. And are you art enthusiasts yourselves? Are you big art? Do you love art?
Oh
as
yes,
well?
absolutely.
Yes.
We work in a film industry, and so I would guess I'd be third generation. My father would be second, and his father was one of the first documentary filmmakers in Slovakia and in Europe, and he created lots of great documentaries. So. And the rest of the family, everybody is involved in some sort of art. So yes, we're big supporters,
Yes.
and we love art. It's what makes the humanity. And
My father, his grandfather, established the film university in Slovakia.
Oh, the film
And
university.
and he was teaching on the film university till the end of his life, but he passed away 20 years ago.
And so, how many documentaries have you actually made?
I in person was making 22 or 25 feature film and about 20 documentaries.
So,
And I've been involved in the last 3 or 4, I think. We've done a documentary about the Slovak phenomenon of hockey players, and we also done a documentary about our very famous mountain climbers, and so on and so on. Some great people from our history and from our culture, because we believe that they deserve their place, and we should talk about them, since there's a lot of I don't want to say negativity, but there's a lot of all kinds of things in this world, and maybe focusing on the people that achieved something and made something out of their lives, that go back to our culture, but also go back to American culture and the world culture, as Andy Warhol influenced the entire world. And it's very nice to watch the people rise.
I was making documentary also about volcanoes. I was shooting on Kamchatka, in Russia, in Siberian. I was making a documentary TV series about the gypsies. I was shooting in the India and also in all countries in the Europe. And I was making a documentary together with my daughter about the hockey players, and that's why we were shooting in Canada in also in the US. That's why I can say I was shooting on 3 big continents, documentary not only around my village from coming.
No, I like the way you're coming from. And, so what is the next production you're doing?
We will continue in work filming the history of Andy Warhol, and we are preparing new film, which would be named not American Dream, but Andy Warhol Nightmare, because he have a problem with the copyright, and Petra can explain it in her English better, like me. He lost the
Supreme Court of Justice in the
Yes.
United States. And we've been in touch with his family, just like we've been in this documentary. And there's also other people that kind of came up after we finished the documentary. And there's even a bigger, let's say, view behind the curtain, how stuff works. And I think George Malanga, Vincent Fremont, and a sister of Eddie Sedgwick, and some other big names maybe have something to say as well, and didn't get the space in our movie because we had so much material, and now we would like to focus more on actual the creation and how what happens behind the scenes, and of course that culminates back to I want to say 2020 or 23 when the Supreme Court was dealing with it, and that also showed how Andy is still relevant, even though he died. 30 years after his death, he's still such a relevant person for the international art, and the whole world was watching. And so, is this a copyright? Is this not an infringement? And then we decided that we are gonna talk a little more about that and see how that influenced the world today.
He died. He passed away before the internet was starting. But from today point of view, Andy Warhol is big influencer. He's saying how the world shall go on. What is the right direction? And he lived 5 lives together separately, because he was photographer, filmmaker, producer of the music. He lived one life with his mother, second life in the factory with the friends from the art business. Very interesting person.
Great,
Hey.
definitely. And
I think
just a
we talked
very,
a lot.
no, but this is great. It's very inspiring as well that you from so many generations has been doing this. And now today you even brought your daughter.
Yes, yes.
You brought your daughter as well. How is that for a working mom?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
So how is that for a working mom to be doing your work that you're very passionate about, and also bringing your baby along?
Well, she have a cutting room in the home. Then it's a baby room, and then it's cutting room. It's on the same corridor.
Yeah, so I go to the studio, and I am sure I am not the only working mom. There's so many of us today, and it's a fast world we live in today, and unfortunately, and maybe fortunately, I don't know, that depends. Today's moms need to provide for the family, need to be with the children as well, and I've been very fortunate to be able to have the studio and to have the background support to be able to keep continuing these, because I did not plan the baby, but the baby came throughout actually the post-production process. So it was quite fun to visit Mr. James Warhol, and then visit him again 6 months later, and he would be surprised, and then visit him again and already have the baby. So also showed how long the movie was being made.
Yes, but I think you're continuing the tradition with all your dad and granddad, and
We hope so, and yeah, we hope that grandfather is,
I think that is Okay, so that's great. Yes,
Koniec karty.
I think we got some good.